Here we are. It's getting warm in here. Oh my God.
Why is it so muggy?
Why is it so warm in the car? You got in the car and got really moist and warm in here. Are you dehydrated?
Oh God, don't even get me fucking started.
What's wrong?
I just love talent testing and this bitch blew my vein like they do every single time I fucking get tested.
I wish that was my problem so I could be like, my bitch always blew my vein. But
My main vein, drain my main vein. I'm already in a bad mood. Like, I'm in a super bad mood this week because, one, I'm beyond clearly dehydrated, obviously. I'm exhausted, jet lagged, irritated, and I'm about to have a period for the motherland, and I'm in such a bad fucking mood, and for some reason, everybody just wants to test me this week.
Excuse you.
Except you. For the most part.
Oh, da.
But you can get it too.
Oh.
You want it? I got it.
I'm hoping I could get it.
I'm not playing games this week. I've been such a bitch to
this week. We have a long week coming up. Can you make it these next 2 days?
Well, I'd like to sleep maybe for 2 days, and then maybe I'll be nice next week. But this week I'm not
sleep
nice.
with my main vein.
Stupid.
So we're gonna call this one Bankruptcy to Branding. That's gonna be the name of the podcast. And why are we calling it that?
Because part of my bad mood this week has been that there's so much frustration that I have with people that... And people are funny because they don't realize that I hear everything just because I don't say it or respond to it or go on Twitter like a 12-year-old and start, a Twitter feud. I hear what people say or what they think. And it's interesting to me that some people have some resentment and jealousy and issues with me and my success in my career. And it's really disappointing, honestly, because a lot of the sources that it's coming from are people that I've done everything in my power to help as much as I can. And if you know me and you've worked with me, I mentor people. I've purchased flights for people out of my own pocket and wardrobe, and
that's true. She's actually, there have been times where she didn't even tell me she's done that shit, and then the other people would tell me, and it would piss me off because I'm all like, you're a broke single mom and this is what you do, but I want to help. But are these people going to help you? And what is the saying? No good deed goes unpunished. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been punished for 20 years. Still being punished, as you could tell by the earlier conversation with Misha. Go ahead, Misha.
Yeah, it's all relative. No, it's really upsetting and disappointing to me because it's funny that people think that I don't deserve to have the success that I have. And it's really upsetting to me because I fucking work so hard for this. And you know what? Here's a reality check for everyone. If you want something or you want to be successful, then you put the fucking work in. And it gets old, honestly. Like, where over the last year, over a year and a half now, I went bankrupt building my brand and my career. No one ever paid a fucking flight for me, or a test, or my hair and makeup and wardrobe, babysitters when I'm gone,
Can I do a full disclaimer?
Sure.
The disclosure?
Sure.
Disclaimer, I guess, too.
Disclaimer.
Misha's shot about 36 scenes for Alterotic. She got paid for the first one. That was it. She does it as content trade because she understands how important it is to shoot for a bigger company because it helps you build your brand. Just because you're not making the money right there, you're making it in the long run. Meaning you're building a brand with a resource that has a bigger outlet than any girl. This is why when girls shoot for companies, is because besides that paycheck, why do girls want to shoot for browsers? Not because it's a paycheck. It's because the platform that they have will help you build your brand. You have a bigger brand, you can make more money feature dancing, you can make more money doing other scenes, you can make more money on clip source because people know your name. And if you're a hooker, you can make stupid money because everybody wants to bang browsers girls. That's the reality of it. So when I have to go on this fucking tangent. I'm sorry. I got fucking really pissed off a couple of days ago. I was interviewed by a big YouTube director who's putting together a debate show. And she was asking me about doing a debate versus somebody who's anti-adult, adult entertainment, adult porn movies. So then she brought up an ex-performer who tells her, well, you know, when I was in the industry, I got taken advantage of. I work for these big companies and I don't get residuals, and you know, it's not fair. And I said straight up, I go, she could go fuck herself, because shooting for those big companies and making those big paycheck. Besides that, she built a fucking brand that she could live off of. If she shot for fucking suckmyasshole.com, she would have never built a brand. But no, she shot for the biggest companies that put her out there on their platform, on the map, to build her brand. So for her to say shit like that is insane to me, because I bet you when she was shooting for that company or those companies, she was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then the moment she made it, she forgot what it fucking took to make it, you know, and that's the part that's frustrating. And I told this director, I go, if this girl was fucking smart, she would have done her fucking homework before she got in the industry, not just jump in, I'm gonna fuck hot guys and make lots of money. No, you get in it for a business. And this is why I get frustrated when chicks pull that shit with Misha. Oh, you're trying to be Misha Montana. Yeah, she is. She's fucking working her ass off, going bankrupt to do this shit. That's the part that's frustrating to me, because I see so many who shoot 2 fucking scenes and they put porn star in their fucking profile. What are you a fucking porn star of? I don't understand. You want to be a porn star? Fucking act like one. How many porn stars do you see that put that in their fucking profile? No real porn star fucking goes on fucking public forums and calls themselves a fucking porn star. They are what they are. They're businesswomen. You shouldn't aspire to be a businesswoman, not a fucking porn star. Because porn stars are fucking broke. That's the reality of it. If you live that lifestyle, your ass leaves bitter and broke. London Keys had the best fucking term of one porn chick that is still in the industry, who talks shit on escorting, talks shit on every other fucking girl. And then what did she do? When she became old bitter bitch, which London Keys called her that, OBB, the OBB, old bitter bitch, that chick became everything that she shit on when she was doing well in the industry and never saved her money, and then had to stick around to be old bitter bitch. So at the end of the day, you want to do this, you need to fucking work your ass off, and don't look at other girls who are successful and fucking hate on them. And what's success anyways? Well, you see somebody posting some shit on social media? That's not success. That's not success. It's bullshit. Because how many girls do we know that have fake fucking followers? You know how you could tell someone has a fake followers? Go check how many followers they have, then go see what their fucking interaction is. How many likes they get, how many comments they get on their page. Then you'll know right away. Then you'll know fucking right away. And you know what? Producers, directors, and companies sees that shit too. So
they're not stupid.
And they're not stupid. At first they might be, and then they'll catch on fairly quick. Yeah. To me, it's a topic that bothers me, and I get really heated about it, and that's why I went off on that director. Is because so many people just feel so fucking entitled, because let's be realistic, at the end of the day, you're fucking for money. The only difference between you and a straight up escort is a camera. That's it. And if you're hot enough, or you built up enough brand, a bigger company will shoot you and put some money into shooting prostitution on camera. Let's be realistic. I mean, at the end of the day, and there's nothing wrong with it. No. I think fucking prostitution should be legal.
I do too.
But then at the end of the day, that's what it is.
But that's why it's so crazy that you have people like and I talk about this all the time, where I don't understand this bizarre hierarchy of sex work, where, you know, people that shoot on camera think that they're superior to other sex workers. You know, we're already hated by the entire world. You know, everyone's trying to hurt us, kill us, make what we do illegal, criminal, take away our children, our healthcare, deprive us of any benefits or rights, period, as human beings. And you guys want to fucking fight with each other about whose pussy is better than the other one. It just blows my mind. I can't even fucking believe it. And I never get really spicy, but like I said, fair warning, this is the disclaimer. I am in a fucking bad mood. Ooh. I'm in a real fucking bad mood. And I'm over it, you know? I'm very fucking nice to everybody. It pisses me off.
For the most part.
For the most part. Except when I'm driving. That's the only time.
Or drunk.
I'm drunk, that's true. No,
So most of the time she's not very nice. You only mean to me.
Idiot.
See, she's not even drunk, so... Or are you drunk?
Would you like to know? I should be drunk. I'm about
to start. Did you just call me a Jew? Wow. You see, an anti-Semite when she's
about to start. This is why I drink. For everyone, this is why I drink.
Because you're dating a Jew? Because you're engaged to a Jew?
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. We made him, and we
Killed him.
We didn't kill him, by the way. You know that's not true.
I know it's not.
Because he was a traitor, and we had to hand him over to the authorities. To the authorities.
Oh God. Jesus.
We were like Brad Pitt and Troy and what's that guy from 300?
Oh, the hot one.
The handsome guy.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Handsome guy and Brad Pitt, which would be one of the same. So Brad Pitt could be Gerard Butler.
Butler, yeah.
Not Gerard Depardieu, even though Gerard Depardieu has
Phantom of the Opera too. Oh, daddy. But anyway, that actually made me kind of happy for a minute. So thank you for that. I'm in such a fucking bad mood. But anyway, and this is relevant because I've been dealing. Here's another thing. My phone does not mean if you have my phone number or I've messaged you back on Instagram or something, does not mean I'm accessible to you 24/7. And I have a fucking life, and everyone's busy. Everyone has problems, and I'm not a victim. I don't whine about my problems. I put them out there so that people understand that everyone's going through something as a way to try to check yourself and be humble and empathetic towards other people that are going through things. I'm not whiny, but it gets to a point where I don't have any obligation to respond to you. There's a priority list of people I respond to, and people that know that I'm busy, if you are in my life and you see the kind of shit that I deal with on a fucking daily basis. We're gonna get real deep here in a minute because I'm fucking on one. So it doesn't mean that you can fucking text me and then get pissed off if I don't text you back. If you're not feeding me or fucking me or paying my fucking bills, then you wait your ass till I respond to you. Give me a fucking break. And it's mostly from the people that just take constantly. And it's just, God forbid I don't answer a fucking text message for a few days. I'm traveling. This is my fucking last 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, okay? I flew to LA. I was in Huntington Beach for 2 days. I almost missed my fucking flight because I drove back at 7 a.m. I had to be at the airport at 8.
Yeah, she drove from Huntington Beach, and she was up at 5:30 in the morning, drove to Hollywood to pick me up so I could drive her to LAX to fly to Austin, Texas, and
to Las Vegas. I flew to Las Vegas. Then I had to switch airports in Las Vegas because I flew on a jet to Vegas and then had to Uber.
Private jet? Oh, so you are loaded.
Private jet I had to take an Uber over to McCarran, and then McCarran to Austin, 2-hour layover in Austin to Miami, and then it was in Miami where I got a fucking horrid UTI that put me in the hospital.
Wait, full disclaimer, not for me. Go on.
I was dehydrated. And then went and did a convention that is strictly for fans. And I love my fans and meeting people, but it's draining. It drains you. Conventions are draining. And I decided to not fly back to Reno for 5 minutes and then turn around and get on a red eye to New York. So I stayed in Miami for 2 extra days. I am running on an average of 2 hours of sleep a night. I flew from Miami to New York, went straight from there to the hotel, had to go find a feature dancing outfit, and then go to my appearance where I was at the club till 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I was in New York for only a handful of days, and then jumped back on a plane to Reno. I was delayed an hour and a half, and then it sat on the runway for another hour and a half. It turned it into a 10-hour fucking flight. And I got into Reno at 12:30 a.m. My bags were late. I didn't get home till about 1:30. I was doing laundry till 2:30. And because I was wearing the same fucking clothes for a week. Dirty clothes, buying clothes just to make it through the day. And then jump on a plane with my son 4 hours later to be in LA, where I was only in LA for 2 days. And then went back to Reno yesterday, or the day before. Not even there for 24 hours. I did all of my appointments, got everything taken care of there. And guess what? It's fucking not even 10 a.m. and I'm back in LA. I've been up since 5 and I went to bed at 2.
Yes, I picked her up from the airport at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I was delayed.
It was late, 8 o'clock, and then we went to get,
5.
she needed to go get tested to make sure she's not a dirty bitch, and for monkeypox. So as far as we know, she doesn't have monkeypox.
Knock on wood, that's
but, yeah, and now we're heading back to the house to edit, because we have to get
Again, yeah, and then it doesn't stop. And then one day in between, and then we drive 4 hours to Las Vegas, and then we're
on Monday.
On Monday, but one day. Tomorrow is the only real day. Like,
well, it's not off because I have.
It's not even off.
I have to edit. I don't know. I mean, like I have probably 12 hours worth of editing.
And that's it. We're working. I'm not sitting around like, what should I do today? I don't know. Maybe I'll go to the beach. You know, I've never been to I've been to the beach. Not even to the beach. We went to a restaurant at the beach. I haven't even been to like a beach day in LA in 2 years.
And when was the last time we actually had a date?
Probably then. A year ago.
On my birthday in March.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, in Beverly Hills, which was a waste of money, by the way. But anyway, it's like, and here's the thing, too. The biggest thing about my travel is insane, and I'm working 24/7. Just because I'm posting on Instagram doesn't mean I can respond to text messages, because that's my fucking job. And I'm constantly having to post and be on my phone, but for other reasons, because everyone knows I have my phone in my hand. That doesn't mean that I'm accessible, period. And on top of it, not only am I working I have 20 different positions, you know? I'm the production manager at Alterotic. I write things for my own series. I am, you know, the unofficial contract, you know, performer for Alterotic. Which I shoot for free, by the way. Everyone thinks that I'm like getting paid to do this. I'm not.
Let me clear something up. You've seen Alterotic shoot similar girls, you know, like we've had girls that let me tell you something. Every single girl there has gotten more paid wise than Misha, because if you're going to go by accumulation of scenes and what they got paid, and Misha's done close to 30 scenes probably, and not only that, she writes some of them, she helps put them together. Like I'll give you an idea of what when Misha was in town with Bodhi, we spent probably 4 to 5 hours daily booking this Vegas trip, because we had to cancel people, get people, figure out hotel rooms, buy wardrobe, go get wardrobe. Misha bought a ton of wardrobe for girls out of her own pocket. We're writing scenarios. We have to change scenarios because things come up. So literally, when people think that you're just sitting at home, even like, let's say even my bosses, you know, no, just because I'm not on the computer doesn't mean I'm not working, because there's so much for us. There's so much. I mean, like people just getting equipment together, you know, and you're talking about also lives, you know, having a life in the sense where like you have to do other things like eat, try to get some sleep, a 5-year-old to take care of.
Well, that's the biggest thing is like, you know, and I do all these things simultaneously. Like people like think that I've got, you know, Bodhi's just like eating bonbons, you know, with his team of nannies, and that's not the case. Like, and you know, Bodhi has special needs. His appointments, he has a neurologist, you know, a pediatrician, and we go to Shriners Hospital, so he has a secondary pediatrician, an orthopedist, he has an allergist, he's got a digestive specialist, there's orthotics and prosthetics and all these different doctors that he regularly sees. And
let's not forget, we also have to have this talk with him once in a while about when you get pulled over by the police, this is how you need to act. Because we have to have the talk with Bodhi, because he's, you know,
with our half-black son. And, you know, he's a ball of energy. I mean, he's a 5-year-old on top of having all these special needs. But, you know, that's the main priority in my life, and obviously my career also. But something that not a lot of people know, that I've actually been pretty private about, which is, I mean, because God forbid I keep anything private, right? My mom is dying of dementia. Serious fucking dementia. And it is the most god-awful thing. It's brutal. And every day, at least once a day, I call Ivan crying. At least once a day. Because of something that's going on in my household. So don't you fucking dare come at me and say that you're busy, or that I'm not responding to you, or whatever fucking bullshit you have going on. I'm over it. Because you have no fucking idea what I deal with, and I still have made a fucking career for myself, and I still will continue to, and I work my fucking ass off while dealing with all this shit. And even last night, I'm leaving Reno, leaving my son behind, who I miss more than anything, and my mother, who's very, very sick, very fucking sick, and then my dog is gonna die while I'm gone. He has a week to live. It sucks, you know, when people come at you like this, like, and it's like, you have to fucking understand that you're not the only person in the world that has shit going on. I know I'm not the only person that has shit going on, but I still work my fucking ass off, do whatever I need to do. I do whatever it fucking takes, and I suck it up and go to the airport when I'm tired and cranky and I miss my son and I shouldn't fucking leave, but I'm doing this because I'm building a life for him, myself, and our family, and it will pay off. So I'm telling you, suck it the fuck up and get to work. And stop blaming everyone else around you for things that are in your control. Everything is a choice. You have everything within your power. You have the same fucking options that I have. Everybody has the same options I have. The thing is, you know, the doors, some doors were open for me. Some I opened my fucking self. But the ones that were open for me, I kicked that bitch down. And you had the same door open, but you chose to keep it shut and blame everyone else for the reason why it's shut. So I'm tired of it. This victim mentality is bullshit. And to turn around and be jealous and hateful towards me, especially when I do all this stuff too, and I still want to help everyone else around me. That's the type of person that I am. I'll give you the fucking shirt off my back, but don't think you can stab me in that same back. You know? Like, it's just, it gets so old. And like I said, I'm fucking at my wit's end.
Well, right, you know, I'm going to interject here, Misha, Montanian.
Yeah.
I've been in it for 20 years. Misha's been in it a year and a half. And I try to, you know, it's kind of in life. You could tell somebody, you know, to do something or to your experience until they
lead the horse to water.
Yeah, you can't make them drink. You can't lead a whore to water, but she's still going to get dehydrated and have bad veins to get tested for fucking STDs. So that's kind of like the situation we're in. I led this whore to water, and she's still dehydrated. Not really sure what's going on here. But anyways, I try to...
I lead all these whores to the water. The same trough.
I've led a lot of whores to water, and some of them actually drank and very hydrated. Some are dehydrated and bitter. So,
and I'm not bitter at all.
It's not. She's dehydrated. What it is that
dehydrated from work.
I sit back a lot of times and just kind of watch, and I watch because, you know, people have patterns of actions, especially in our industry, and I've seen some of her friends, and I've seen some people that try to get in her life, and I tell her all the time, I go, this person's going to be like this. And she listens sometimes, most of the time she doesn't. And then what happens is, it gets too much. You know, it's kind of like you give somebody a fucking leash, and then when they tug on it too much, then you just go, fuck it.
An inch and then you take a fucking mile.
That's right. I try to give Misha a few inches, and she never takes a mile. But besides that point, so thanks for bringing that up, Misha, and then ruining my day. Now I'm upset. So, no, but the truth is that there's a lot of selfishness within people in general, let alone in what we do, down to like when somebody messages you and they ask you how you're doing, they don't give a fuck. They're just trying to start a conversation about themselves. So yeah, it gets annoying, you know, when somebody calls you at 2 fucking in the morning over and over and over again. They're not calling to go like, hey, how's your day? You want to get breakfast? Let me buy you lunch tomorrow. They're calling because it's about fucking them. Not understanding, middle of the night, someone's sleeping. Someone, especially who had a stroke, maybe needs to rest. She's got a 5-year-old. Maybe you shouldn't fucking call.
I had a stroke, dude. You know, that's the thing. People forget. I have a fucking brain injury constantly.
So I'm constant, and Misha will vouch for this. Down to like she gets annoyed when I tell her I'm going to tell her friends to go fuck themselves, and that goes from her friends in Reno. And if they're listening to it, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to say your name, but one day I fucking will. So. She's got friends that are awesome in Reno. She's got friends that are pieces of shit in Reno. Not necessarily pieces of shit humans, pieces of shit in how they treat her as a friend. That's it. And so I'm very protective of her situation. And yeah, about the door thing. You know something? I've opened so many doors for people, and some people kicked those doors down and went for it. Some just stood in the doorway, looked around, and went the other way. And then they bitch, you know. Misha's not the first person that I've helped. You know, that's the reality. And in fact, every fucking girl I've dated, I fucking helped do some shit. Every girl I've encountered that I saw that they were interested in building a brand or worked their ass off. I'm like, I'm going to do everything I fucking can to help you. Amber Luke will be a perfect example. Christy Mack would be a perfect example. You could go down the line of half the fucking Pooba girls that we did websites for, as an example, who've Skin Diamond, first movie she ever directed. I shot for her. She's like, let's get co-director credit. I'm like, I don't need co-director. It's your movie. You did it. You know what? It was all content trade. Shot a badass movie for her. Edited a badass movie for her. She got 2 AVN nominations.
Yeah.
You know, Skin Diamond's first.
Too,
so,
like when you...
and it's not like I was like, oh, Skin Diamond are hooking up. Had nothing to do with that. She was dedicated. She gave a shit about what she was doing. And I'm like, it's my pleasure. Put me as cameraman credit, and I don't care about the direct credit.
Well, people think that when, you know, they say, like, people fuck their way to the top, or they, you know, using pussy power to, like, you know, get what they have in life, or their success and riches and fame, or whatever they have. And, like, that is such an ignorant thing to judge someone for when you have no idea the work that they put in themselves. Like, and just because people have better success than you do at things, then, like, maybe be better, maybe be smarter, maybe put more time, money, and energy into something if you really fucking want it. Because, like, again, if you want something, there's nothing stopping you but you.
Well, you know, here's the thing. You know, I did a podcast after one of our last trips, and I was upset. I went off on one of the girls. Didn't mention her name though, and because I was frustrated because it wasn't the first time. It was like the third or fourth time shit's happened where canceled last minute with the weirdest excuses. And I just kind of talked about it on the podcast, and she felt offended because she obviously realized it was about her. And I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm sorry. You're very nice, fucking amazingly nice person, but you are not built for this because you're not putting the fucking effort in. And at some point, if you can't put the effort in, I can't deal with you because my time is precious in the sense where, like, I don't get a lot of rest. I don't get a lot of sleep. Hence, I almost fucking died 2 years ago because of my work ethic. So if I'm going to put my time and effort into somebody, I want to make sure they're putting the same effort in and they appreciate it.
Well, and that's, it's about appreciation at the end of the day. And that's what, like, again, like, nothing's going to change. Obviously, that's because Ivan and I probably more so than him. I mean, we're very similar in the sense of, like this morning, Ivan he was late picking me up from the airport because he was buying a gang of homeless people food. You know, it's like, but that's the type of people...
Why do you have to say gang just because they're black guys? Wow! Wow! Misha, you join your gang or you become a little Republican over here, huh?
God, you know, never.
Yeah, okay, can I tell the story? It's the homeless guy story. Mm-hmm. So, I'm like in a rush to get Misha, and so I go to the 7-Eleven, and there's like a gang, as Misha would put it, of black dudes out there.
Gaggle?
Is that what it is? Gaggle? What's a gaggle? There's not
geese.
Like geese, a bunch of geese.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of black geese out there.
Oh my God, why are they black?
Well, because we're all black. You're the one who brought up or did I bring up the black?
You brought it up.
Oh, because you said gang, so I assumed you meant black guys. Anyways, so there was like an older gentleman there, and I was walking in. He doesn't even ask me. I go, hey, do you want a sandwich? And he goes, oh, that'd be great. Thank you so much. I go, you want a drink? Yeah. Give me a Coke, okay. And then the guy on the other side of the door was all like, get me a Slurpee. And I'm all like, and he literally looked like Dave Chappelle, the one with like the homeless Dave Chappelle with a dry mouth. That's what he looked like. I was like, Dave, you know? and I'm
probably would be.
It probably would. So I'm just like, dude, I'm not getting you a Slurpee. I have too much stuff to carry. I go, I get something else. And he's like, get me a fruit punch. I'm like, okay, cool. Fruit punch it is. So I go in there and I get Gatorade fruit punch, which was ridiculously expensive, and especially for Dave Chappelle. And I got the guy wanted a tuna sandwich and a Coke. So I bought a Coke Zero just like because that just kind of like that's what I get. So I just got it without even thinking twice. And I walk out there and I give him the food. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, I got your Coke Zero. You wanted a Coke? And he's like, it's okay, man, thank you. And I go, well, you know, I have diabetes. I drink Coke Zero because it doesn't have any sugar in there, so it's just not as bad for you. And he goes, same here. And he's like sitting down. He's like points at his legs, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I almost lost my leg because of diabetes. I had like a bunch of surgeries on it. And he goes, same here. And like, so we like bonded over our diabetic issues.
But that's like, if you talk to people and take the time and not look past them or think that you're above anyone, you realize that we're all humans. We all have more in common with each other than we ever thought if we just listened to each other and communicated and took ego and pride and all of these other elements out of it. You know, we're all human beings at the end of the day. We all are trying to accomplish this thing called life. And it's unfortunate that people can be so self-absorbed within their own bullshit that they can't even see past themselves to realize that there are other people having struggles and issues and health issues and money issues and whatever it may be. There are a lot of people in this world that have been through way more tragic things than you and I could even ever dream of. So have some empathy and compassion, and at the very least, when it comes to the things that we're talking about today, just be humble and appreciative, and work hard and stop making excuses for yourself and blaming other people. Like, you can do anything that you want to do, and we'll continue to help people. I have no intention of it ever like stopping or being. I don't want to become a jaded, bitter person. I see how people can be easily. I mean, I've even changed dramatically in the last year, but I told Ivan this last week. I had an emotional moment, and I was like, I don't want this to change us, because we have huge things we can't even talk about coming, that some of these things, they can change you, and I don't ever want to lose sight of who I am as a person, or who he is, or who Bodhi is, and let these things change you. If you allow them to, they will destroy you. And money and fame and success are all wonderful things if you can harness them and keep them contained and not allow them to interfere with who you are as a person, and let it define your character. Because once you strip those things away, what do you have at the end of the day?
Right. Well, it's that entitlement that people have these days. That's why I have those shirts that say entitled hooker, because it's a joke on those people. I'll give you a quick example of a story. So our company, we do porn star websites, and I become friends with a lot of them, really good friends with some, travel with them, stuff like that, have emotional conversations and life lessons, all kinds of stuff. So there was one girl one day, I didn't even know this. Her and I used to travel together. We were super close friends. I didn't even know this. My partner calls me and goes, "Hey, did you know she reached out to us and said a few of these things?" I go, I don't know what you're talking about. So he goes, "Can you talk to her and see what's going on?" And I'm like, what she's saying, it sounds like someone's in her ear, or she's just getting some sort of entitlement. I'm not sure. Let me reach out to her. So I reach out to her, to this performer, and this performer now, like, my stomach turns when that's why I don't follow them on social media. But and she was, when she first got in, amazingly nice person. Then she started turning when she started making some serious money. She would talk shit on other girls. She started escorting, and she would pull shit, like in front of me one time. She was talking to an escort agent, and she's all like, "That motherfucker should know my name, know who the fuck I am." And I'm thinking, he does know your name. He's about to pay $1,000 to fuck him. So he does know your name. So get over yourself. And that's what I was thinking in my head. And then, so I called her for this conversation. It's a good one, actually. And she goes, "I don't think it's fair that the percentage is 50-50 for my website." And I go, "Well, why not? Because that's the deal we have." And she goes, "Well, my name," and I go, "Well, okay, let's look at it this way. So you make 50% of your website, right?" "Yeah." I go, "I have 3 full-time partners." "Yeah." "So each partner makes what is that? 17% of your website. A little under 17% of each partner. With our 17% that we make off your website, we pay for server space, paid for the design of the website, pay for production, pay for crew, pay for photographer, pay for location, pay for all the supplies that come to set. And what do you pay out of the 50% that you make?" I go, honestly, I don't think it's fair to me, because out of my 17%, the little 17% that I make, I shoot everything, edit everything for you as well. And at the end of the day, you co-own the content. You could literally take it anywhere and do whatever you want with it. Literally anything you want. And there was no response. There was like, "Oh, okay." And that was it. That was it. And I'm just going, how did you forget? When you first came on board, you were so excited because everything that the company offered you, more than any other company, this is why you came to us. And this is your response because your name grew. And then what Misha was saying about when our name, when you start being successful and and people are like trying to knock down your door for things, be humble, because at the end of the day, all that could go away. And also reputation is key. I know so many people that don't have the biggest names, but their reputation is great and they get plenty of work. I also know people that have huge names and hot girls, guys, whatever. And because of their reputation, people don't want to deal with them, or they limit their dealings with them. So if something comes up, they're like, if I don't have to use them, I will not. How many opportunities you lose because of your bad attitude is crazy. And that goes even with us. When we're shooting people, and we're shooting, up and comers, wannabe, stars or whatever else, and we're like, well, that person's kind of, they don't show initiative, or they have an attitude problem. You will use them if we have to. And then others were like, that person is like so right on. That person is so about building a brand, spending every, who I had a talk with, Misha, a couple days ago, yesterday. I haven't talked to her in a while. Lady Lazarus, she's flying into Vegas to shoot, and I had a really nice conversation about what it takes, because she flies out on her own dime. When she comes out to LA or Vegas, because she's from the East Coast, she spends, her own money. And when she comes out here, that's what she's always like telling me. Like, she goes, when I come out here, I have a really tight schedule because I'm trying to fill it up with work. And I'm trying to fill it up with working with companies that help me brand. And this is why she's shooting with Alterada, because she's like, you guys are a big company. It would be great to get my images on your network. We have a couple other people we can't talk about that are coming out from out of town. That same thing, that are like, well, we want to really build a brand properly, and the only way we're going to build a brand is shooting for bigger companies that have bigger outlets. And we get so many girls sending us content going like, I just want to be on your network because of the eyes that will see me. And that's we're kind of like, honestly, in some ways, we're like the brassers of the alt community, because a lot of the alt models don't get shot by bigger companies. So
we also are a company unlike any other company, and that's what we all, you and I in particular, get taken advantage of just in the same way the company does, because these girls don't even understand that, like, it's weird because they know they're not getting shot by other companies, yet Alterotic is the only company like ours willing to go above and beyond to help these girls and build their brands and help them, become ambassadors and build a career, because we know how hard it is for them out there. And yet you have this weird entitlement to it, and then you just like expect your test to be paid for, your flights to be paid for, all these things, and then get $2,000 a scene and these outrageous rates. And it's like, by the way, who's shooting you? How many followers do you have? Like, that's mean, but it's reality. Like, Alterotic does what no other company, Alternot, does in this industry. And the things that we offer, if you were smart, you'd realize are more valuable than a fucking paycheck.
Well, there's, and that's the thing, is there's a handful of girls. I just had a girl from Australia.
There are a lot of girls that get it. And I'm saying, like, and you know what? And I had a conversation with a girl yesterday, actually. Brand new. This is going to be her first scene with me. I've been working with her all week, helping her get set up on TTS to get tested, arranging flights, getting introducing her to the production side of the world. She has no idea, and that's okay, because how would you know? That's why I'm here. That's my job. I'm happy to be a mentor and a liaison and to help you as much as I can. And the reason why I'm so happy to help her is because she's motivated and she's doing anything she can to make it happen, And that's what I want to see. I will fucking give you the last penny I have if you're putting in the work and showing the effort, and you want this and you're hungry for it and you're willing to work for it and you're appreciative and thankful. And that's the difference. Like, and it's such a nice feeling to be able to help someone achieve their dream. And I can't tell you on the opposite spectrum how fucking frustrating and disappointing and upsetting it is to have people spit in your face and just take on the other side of the spectrum. So keep everything in perspective. And guess what? There are thousands of girls out there just like you that are hungry for it. So if you're not willing to put in the work, then get the fuck out of line so somebody else can. That's it.
Wow. Is that your mic drop? Because you're about to take your seatbelt off. That's it.
Cibola.
That's it. No, but that's true because it's funny because Misha was on the phone with the girl for like a few days and it went all over the place, and then eventually she's like, I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna come out, and I was like, this is badass because she's getting it. Because the funny thing to me is we get a lot of girls in our DMs reaching out, going like, I wanna shoot with you guys, and then you go and check their page, it got like 500 followers, 1,000 followers, and going, oh, cool, they want to build a brand. And as soon as, and not everyone, because there's a bunch that are like so just like motivated to, I'll shoot content, whatever you guys want. And as soon as I start talking to some of them, well, how much does it pay? And I'm like, wait, did you reach out to us because you're trying to build a brand or you're trying to get a paycheck? Which is fine. We're not paying right now. Not paying for a new girl, because when a company pays somebody, it's an investment into that content. They're not paying somebody just to pay their bills. They're paying because you have to make your money back. And that's the whole point. At some point, the company has to recoup on their investment. And this is why companies shoot big name talent, because you shoot big name talent, you spend that money to shoot them, the investment will come back, back on you, in the sense where like, you shoot a big name, you put it on a box cover, but when box covers were a big deal, now it's putting it in front of your website, and that's how you generate traffic or customers. If a girl is new, that's not going to happen. So if we help the girl build a brand, then eventually she could be in position to get paid. She could be in position to get paid really good money by other companies, by other situations. So, I think right now we have a great group of girls that are reaching out about shooting. Here's the one thing that I just completely forgot. How many alt girls we've actually got them their first AVN nominations? And
including me. I have over a dozen nominations in the last year and growing every day.
Well, Mallory Maneater, first AVN nomination. Amber Luke, first AVN nomination. Tiger Lily won her first porn award. Just down the list, how many different girls we've gotten their first nomination, and they all reach out. They're like, "Thank you so much," and it's because we shoot cool stuff. My whole thing is, if we're going to shoot content with you, we're going to shoot the coolest stuff, because I want to make sure you leave happy with what content you're getting and what visuals are shot of you, because it's important to me, and it's important to Alterotic, because it's important to Misha and I, and we're the ones that are face of the company. And this is why we do the coolest movies, to have our movie win awards, to have our movie have 5 AVN nominations as all content trade. Ink Motel 3, that was that 5 AVN nominations. That movie, budget-wise, what, maybe $400 or $500, because on props and food, it was all content trade.
Yeah.
And, it was going up against movies that spent $50,000 and buy fucking billboards on Hollywood Boulevard. I mean, let's be realistic, Your movie, Misha's Showcase, that movie cost maybe $1,000, maybe $1,500 at most, because of everything that was in it. Nominated for every best movie award in every award show. Period. Every award show. Should have won in every award show, but this fucking industry doesn't give a fuck about humanizing the industry. It cares about meeting up the industry. Like, you're a piece of meat. Let's do another article about your asshole. But so it's one of those things you really have to put it in perspective, why you're doing it and how you're doing it, and do your fucking homework. That's the biggest thing. Do your homework and be humble, because at the end of the day, everyone in this industry goes away. It's either the industry is done with you because you shut out, or you're mentally not prepared for the industry anymore, or your body gives out, and whatever. You meet somebody, you just want to move on with your life. It's what you do while you're in the industry, what brand you build that you could live off of, or keep monetizing off of, whatever it may be. And this podcast is called Bankruptcy to Branding, and it's true. You go bankrupt building a brand, and you just hope at one point it teeters over. We're bankrupt. We are putting every single penny into shooting, into equipment, into having our own PR person, because it's crucial. I was asked a couple of days ago, how'd you guys get on Daily Star? I go, well, first of all, we do cool shit, and some things happen.
We pay $1,000 a month for a publicist.
Yeah.
For one, and like, I am constantly trying to think about who to reach out to, how to get contact information for people. I spend whole days sometimes trying to figure out how to get in touch with people. And they're like, how did you get in stuff on your belly? I want to be on there. Well, then why don't you fucking figure it out?
Well, I mean, just down to like when you put the whole Golden State Tattoo Convention together, you did all the work.
I did all of
and,
it,
and
yeah.
down to you had to babysit people to actually do their fucking part.
Yeah, you know,
over
I
and
thought
over.
about that this morning because I was looking through old emails.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I forgot what a shit show that was.
It was a complete shit show
I
because
had
you
to
babysit everyone. Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't get the fucking, people had to take health tests, and I had to contact the health department, and their health department verification is from a different state, and they didn't want it, so then, they had to go do it, and I orchestrated that entire thing and held everybody's hand through that entire process, which I constantly do.
It's insane. So, we have a big week coming up, huge week, in Vegas. So, if you're listening to this and you're in Vegas and you care about branding, fucking reach out to us, and that's where it's at. And because I'm there to shoot, Misha's there to shoot. This is probably going to be our last big production day, of at least August. We'll have some shoots in LA, but Vegas wise, it might be the last one. Maybe one more, just if something comes up. But we have a lot to do. We're trying to keep building our brand to RussiansOneAmerica.com and helping everybody else do their stuff and that want to help or doing their part. I guess doing their part. They all want to help. It's whoever's doing their part. And I think in Vegas we have a good game plan with people that want to build a brand and want to do it the right way. And I'm anxious to get there and start shooting really cool stuff. I'm worried about how much we have lined up, but I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be a good thing. And, hopefully when you go from bankruptcy to branding, eventually it's not bankruptcy anymore. And it becomes...
Exactly. Well, that's the whole point. But ask anybody who's successful what their story is. And most of them, even if they were given, money or something, it's still a choice how you invest it. It's still a choice what you do with it, right? If you came from nothing, you worked your ass off. Like Jay-Z sold crack, for fuck's sake. Now he's a billionaire. There's no excuse. None. Zero. No excuse. So, get it together. With love. Misha and I.
There you go.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay, so Misha's done ranting. We're gonna go. Bye.